Hello there, welcome or welcome back to Beauty Bees and to a little bit of a favorites video. I haven't filmed one of these in a really long time. I feel like a lot of videos are more or less slightly tweaked favorites videos. If I tell you my top 10 of something, guess what? That's a favorites, but this is just a little mix of things that I've been really enjoying recently and using a lot. Specifically today, I wanted to talk about a few things that aren't in my project pans because, ideally, if something is in my project pan, I will be consistently using it and hopefully enjoying that process. For the things that aren't in my project pan, sometimes even things that I really like will sit there for quite a while unused. But even though these items are not currently in project pans, I've been using them really consistently and really enjoying them, so I thought it was worth mentioning. Let's start out with a nail polish. This is from Sally Hansen. It is the Extreme Wear line. This is the shade Fantasies. And I will put up a picture of a manicure that I did earlier this week with this polish. I think this is just such a fun glitter topper. There are some really fine green little glitters and then larger blue metallic hex glitters as well as little hollow glitters that are sort of a medium size. Very pretty. Over that pink, it looked like an Easter egg. This has looked really nice over gold. I've worn it over varying shades of green with really nice effects. It's just such a pretty polish. It is so fun. I've only had this for a couple of months, and I think you can tell. Well, you could have told better at the beginning of this video, now that I've shaken it up, not as well. But I'm all the way down here already. I have been using this really often because it's just such a fun little bit of sparkle to add to my manicures. Really love this one. Next up, we have a lip product, and it surprises me just how much I've been using this because this isn't in season, I don't feel. This is from KVD, and it is the, what are these called? The Epic Kiss Nourishing Vegan Butter Lipstick in Lolita. Now, I've had Lolita, I don't remember what form I had it in. I think I just had a little sample of it in the past. Their like standard studded kiss lipstick, and I really enjoyed that. But I bought this at TJ Maxx last year, and I find that this is a really deep color for this time of year, but it's so easy to wear. This really deep, sort of a nude on some people, but really too deep to be a proper nude on me. Has some mauve, it has some brown. I apply this just to my lower lip, smack my lips a little bit together, and it gives this really soft color to the lips. It is surprisingly easy to wear in summer. I think that for fall and winter, I'll be wearing this just all the time. This really reminds me of the ColourPop, the lippy sticks from ColourPop. Unfortunately, those have beeswax in them, or synthetic beeswax, I don't remember. So I can't use them, and I've really missed those, but this is a great replacement for it. I really like the studded packaging on this. I think it's really cool, and I love a slim format lipstick. That's just one of my favorite things. So having it in such a nice formula and in such a flattering color is a huge win for me. So that is my first lip favorite that I've just been going back to over and over again. I think in the past month, I've probably worn this like 8 or 9 times. And it's a really deep nude in July. Just been loving this thing. Really did not get a whole lot of use out of it when I first purchased, but lately, just going back to it again and again. Let me find the other lip product that I have in here. This is another really easy, everyday kind of lip product for me. This is from Bare Minerals, and it is their Mineralist Lip Gloss Balm in Warmth. I got this in February or March of this year. It was part of like a Bare Minerals holiday set that I found on clearance. And this is just lovely. I really do like these glossy lip balms from Bare Minerals. They smell really good. I have no idea what they're intended to smell like, but it's like this soft fruity scent. They sit really nicely on the lips. They offer enough color where you can definitely differentiate between different shades, but they aren't difficult to apply without a mirror. You don't need to babysit them too much. You don't need to worry about them traveling outside your lip line or just leaving a mess on things. This Warmth shade I think is just great for this time of year because it is this soft sort of caramely nude. It is definitely a little bit deeper than my natural lips. On me, this really does give color, though I think on a lot of people this would probably be pretty close to the natural color of the lips, just with some added shimmer. The shimmer is really fine. It's really pretty. It doesn't look so much like glitter on the lips as just a little bit of extra shine to make things look a little bit fuller. I like this a lot. Super easy to take with me and reapply during the day. Often I will apply this if I've been wearing a warmer lipstick earlier in the day and want something to freshen up. When I was wearing a cooler toned lipstick at the beginning of the day, I would usually have this NARS lipstick with me. This is the Afterglow Lip Balm in Fastlane, and I would apply this instead. So they fulfill pretty similar roles for me. They're both very hydrating lip products with enough color to be impactful, but this one I think is just great for the summer. And also the NARS one was in a project pan, so I decided I wasn't going to talk about it in this video. But there is the swatch again. I don't know how good of a look I gave you guys earlier. Super pretty. All of these things are super pretty. That's why they're in my favorites video. Okay. Next up, we have a cheek product. This is from Nude Sticks, and it's their Nudies Matte Luxe All Over Blush Color. I have mine in the shade Rosy Posy, which is adorable. So this is in a twist up crayon. I just have a mini, so I have used, I'd say, a little bit of what was in here, but it'll last me a long time. I use this almost exclusively as a cheek color. I've used it on my lips a few times, but this sort of cream to powder formula that this has going on, I just feel suits the cheeks a little bit better. I don't love a cream to powder feel on the lips. The way I like to use this is after I have applied my sunscreen. This will be the very next step that I do. I will apply it right up here at my temples and then blend out. I find that once I then powder over that, it ends up looking really natural and really smooth. And if I want to amp up the blush a little bit more, I will use a powder blush on top of all of those. But that nice base blush is often enough for me. It's really pretty. I think this color is super flattering. It looks really natural on me, and this product is really a joy to work with. One of the things that I like about this is that I don't have to be super quick. I mean, you saw, I swatched this on my hand, talked a little bit, and then went to blend it out, but I didn't have any difficulties in that area whatsoever. I hate when a cream or liquid blush leaves like a dot where you applied it and you're fighting it to try to get it blended out. Like, I just want my cream products to be super easy to use. I don't want to have to worry about things, and this is great for that. and it feels really nice on the skin after it's blended out. That cream to powder is so annoying on the lips. I just hate the texture of it on the lips, but on the cheeks it's very satisfying. And quite often the blush that I have been topping off that Nude Sticks lip and cheek tint with has been this CoverGirl blush. This is in the shade Natural Twinkle, I believe. Yes. And funny story, the way I actually really started using this regularly was I just had it out after a products I regret purchasing video. I just didn't bother to put it away, and I found myself using it over and over again. And now it's not a product I regret buying anymore. So that's good. What I like about this is that it's very, very buildable. It is this pretty soft mauvey pink color. It's actually kind of hard to even show. So it's so easy to not go overboard. It's super buildable. I don't think that I could ever get this to a point where it was obnoxious on the skin. I don't think that I could get this to a point where it looked bad. And that is so helpful in the mornings because sometimes I haven't had nearly enough caffeine when I'm getting ready. And a very pigmented blush in that situation can be very, very scary. But this has a nice amount of glow to it. I can put it really anywhere. I usually focus it right up here and then maybe across the bridge of my nose a little bit. Pretty easy to use. I don't know why I didn't like this at the beginning. I mean, it isn't a whole lot. This is not pigmented in the slightest, but it really works. It's a nice blush on me. And I don't know why, it doesn't really show up that well in a swatch, but on the cheeks I can really see it. I keep talking about how I've been powdering my face down, and this is the powder that I've generally been using. This is from Laura Mercier. It is their translucent loose setting powder. This is the one that came in the birthday gift from Sephora last year. I really like it. It's just a loose setting powder, but it doesn't look too powdery on the skin. It doesn't look cakey at all. I don't even necessarily need to use setting mist or finishing spray to get rid of that powdery appearance. I generally do, just because I would like to finish up some of my setting sprays and finishing sprays, but this doesn't necessarily need it. It is a really nice texture. I like this. I don't have a ton of experience with loose powders. I think the only other one that I've ever used up completely, well, the only one I've used up completely, I assume I'll get there with this one, but it hasn't happened yet, was from Kat Von D. And I'm pretty sure that was also a Sephora birthday gift. But this is a good one. I quite like it. And I think it looks really nice and natural on me. Now, finally, we have a fragrance. This is from Bath & Body Works. This is another product that I didn't get a ton of use out of when I first got it. I got this, I think, during last year's semi-annual sale. It's the scent Summer Melody, and I've used a lot of this. I've been all the way down here, so I've used up at least half of the product. I don't know why I didn't like this when I first got it. I didn't dislike it, but it just didn't do anything for me at that point. This smells like the equivalent of those old Victoria's Secret swimsuit commercials. Like, it's kind of sexy, kind of beachy. Really pretty. It's like a cantaloupe scent, and then I think it has a little bit of like saltiness to it. It's really nice. It's pretty simple. I kind of feel like this smells like something that I used to have ages ago from Victoria's Secret. But I couldn't put my finger on what that might be. It's really nice though. Actually, is it cantaloupe? think it's honeydew. It feels more like honeydew to me. I don't know. It's really good. And I think this is probably going to be gone by the end of the summer. That'll be kind of sad because this was one of their like permanent scents that they brought out and then they didn't actually make it permanent. You know how not Victoria's Secret, Bath and Body Works does that. They'll bring out a signature fragrance in the perfume, in the body scrub, in all of their products practically, and then it's like it's been added to their permanent line, but then after the next semi-annual sale, just completely gone. Pretty sure that's what they pulled with this one, which is a shame because this is a really lovely scent. And I think that brings us to the end of this little favorites video. I wanted to wrap up with 2 channels that I would strongly recommend checking out. They aren't beauty channels. If you are interested in hearing about some beauty creators that I enjoy watching, I would be totally happy to make a video about that. The 2 channels that I wanted to talk about are ones that I love listening to when I'm like doing chores around my house. If I'm doing the dishes or folding laundry, I almost always have one of these on in the background. The first is PBS Eons. These are like 10 to 20 minute videos on paleontology. They're made by PBS. I really enjoy it. I've always been someone who's really interested in dinosaurs, especially when I was a kid. I wanted to be a paleontologist when I grew up, and this takes me back to that, and I really enjoy that. I love learning about history, and I've loved natural history forever, so this is a really fun channel. Another one that I've really been enjoying is Bite Size Audio Classics. Now, he reads these short stories from the Victorian and Edwardian eras. They're mysteries and ghost stories mainly. I think he does some adventure stories as well. These stories tend to be like 45 minutes to an hour and a half, so longer chores, or if I'm doing work after working hours, I'll often have this on as well in the background. The man who runs this channel is an actor. He has a really nice English voice. I quite enjoy listening to his channel. All right, thank you so much for watching this little favorites video. I would love to hear what you've been enjoying this summer, and if you have any similar channel ideas, I would love to hear that because I think I've pretty much run out of videos on PBS Eons, and that's very sad. Where am I going to get my dinosaur fix now? Thanks again, and I hope I see you guys next time.